Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Green Bay Packers and the Denver Broncos. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And the Mile High Air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Bo Scarborough. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Bradley Roby, the quarterback, there to make the stop.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. This is Scarborough. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the shotgun, it's Taylor. And able to find Graham, complete. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a 1st down.
They go play action here on 1st down. That's out to Hill, right side complete. Give him 30 yards there. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down. Now Scarborough. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 11 more on that one and another 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal.
And, Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
2nd and goal from the 1. They'll run for it with Bo Scarborough. And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Bo Scarborough, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Packers take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Off the bootleg. Jones out to his left. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. And they'll run it here. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. 8 yards on the run there, and that leaves them with 3rd and just a couple.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And McManus able to put it through. And that right there is something we've seen, I don't know, 15 times in NFL history. That will officially go down as a 60-yard field goal.
And everything has to be absolutely perfect for this to have any chance. He's got to get it out low and really drive through it. And I tell you, that was one heck of a kick. One heck of a decision on the sideline to even try it as well.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Now they'll run it with Scarborough. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Taylor to throw. Buying time to his left. And, boy, that one drops incomplete. But if he was hit a fraction sooner, it may have been a fumble.
It's not much pressure to affect the accuracy and the timing of a guy trying to throw the football. And on that play, they ended up flushing him to his left, contacted him as he's trying to throw the football, and that led to the incompletion.
Third and long, it's Taylor. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On fourth down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And Denver getting set to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a play fake here on first down. He'll buy some time right. Incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And now it's second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
But this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They'll face a 3rd down conversion attempt here, 3rd and 3. Now Jones from the gun, he'll throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Fielded at the 33. Great blocking on the return. It springs him for 25. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. They want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
They run. This is Scarborough. There he goes inside the 30. Touchdown, Packers. Both Scarborough with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Packers add 6 to their lead. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Off the play fake. Jones. Packer pressure, and down he goes. Ziggy Ansah in there to bring him down for a loss of 7. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Jones now operating from the gun. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. Operating from the gun, Jones. And this one is incomplete.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on 3rd down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
On is the punter, King, to send it away. This is fielded at the 27. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start things on 1st down with Bo Scarborough. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Derek Wolfe there on the tackle. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now a toss play. This is Scarborough. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Taylor. Lets this one rip toward Graham. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but As you said, incomplete. So the Broncos coming out now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Now a handoff looking right, and he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Jones, off play action. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete. Well, shame on them, Coach Davis. They went against your advice. They threw the football, and now they're backed up to punt this away.
They're actually fortunate. They went against my advice, but they didn't turn it over, right? No takeaway for the defense. They'll punt it now. They probably could have gained a few yards if they ran it, though, and helped out with field position.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. He won't go down. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. It's the Chargers out to an early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. On 1st and 10, it's Taylor rolling to his left. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there, 22. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Now Taylor. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down. And his kick is good. And they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. So a good kick there to polish off the drive with 3 points.
Yeah, coaches always talk about finishing a drive with a kick. 2 of them give you points, either an extra point or, in this case, a field goal.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in the good defensive position, able to affect the play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. The Broncos on third down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Jones. From the gun, he'll throw. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now Jones throwing on 1st down. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. Thomas the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jones looking again. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jones now on 1st down. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's 1st down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. This from 54 yards away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Rodgers. And his first throw here is incomplete. So we've come to halftime here with the visiting Packers out on top. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Looking to throw on second down. Jones. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
There's Scarborough on the toss. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Slow.
They try again with Scarborough. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 4 yards on the pickup there as they get it back to a more manageable 3rd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
He can't get him down. And not much of a hole there as he gets it down to about the 24-yard line. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty makes this a much more manageable 3rd down, 3rd and 2.
Slow.
And they'll let their fullback try and push the pile. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
I get the thought process. 3rd and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win a lot of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, and there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the 3rd quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
The Broncos offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive? Or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that...
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Now Jones. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. The tight end Julius Thomas, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Looking left side and completing it to Thomas. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Slow.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Throwing now is Rodgers. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Rodgers will try again on second down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So, flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. Here's the correct call.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Tackled by Bradley Chubb, the number 5 pick in the 2018 draft. On second down, here's Rodgers. And over the middle, this is Parker. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. That one good for 17 yards. And now they've got it first and goal. They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Packers add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up just past the 20, and his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
On second down, Freeman. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Jones off the bootleg. On the move to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down. Ziggy Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Marquette King now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's pulled in at the 32. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Rodgers will break the huddle and bring the pack up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Rodgers going to throw. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. It was Darian Stewart that time who was able to knock the pass away. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, they haven't had a whole lot of success in the passing game here. Now, in the second half, he's thinking, I guess maybe just take a shot deep.
I think you're right. Almost looking for a bailout, isn't he? Can my receiver go up and make a big play for me? Can I create a penalty downfield, maybe pick up an interference call and get that yardage downfield? Anything trying to get going again, but you're right. He definitely took a shot.
And now running right through it. And he is finally out of bounds, but he gets all the way down right around the 20. Now, that's one they hate. The ball's got to come all the way back.
So that's an explosive play, a really explosive play that gets wiped out, and they have to start over after the penalty.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? To throw is Rodgers. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
And they'll run it here. And he's going to take this up past the 10 to about the 11. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Here's Jones to throw on second down. And incomplete on the deep ball. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now Jones on third down. And that is incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on fourth down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll run it here. This is James White. Finding room to the 20. Touchdown, Packers! James White, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, you know, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Ezekiel Ansah in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. From the gun, Jones. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. Third down.
I think someone's going to get into QB1's ear when he gets to the sideline. Already thrown an interception. That one should have been picked. Look, let's just be honest about it. That'd be the second person in his ear because he's hearing it in the huddle right now.
Not the start to the game he wanted. Like you said, the pick on the opening drive, second drive, not much better. And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Just a 30-yard punt that time. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And now the Packers get set to go. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the fourth quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Now White. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. So he loses 3 yards there. Now third down. A tale of two extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again, and instead it works opposite.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Okay, let's hit the analytics side here. Third down, passing situation. You know most people are going to dial up some sort of pressure.
And they did, and they got to him while he was in the pocket.
In that situation, you know as a quarterback, they're coming. You got to be able to stand in there firm and make a throw.
Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Throwing, Jones. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Broncos on third down. A very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. Looking to throw. Jones under pressure again, and down he goes again. Jake Ryan. He's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks are going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Here's Marquette King now as he's on to punt for Denver. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. He will not go down.
Have to retape those ankles.
Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Checking the NFL scoreboard, they're in the 4th now in Minneapolis. Chargers continue to pull away. They have opened that lead up even further. A win would be their first of the young season.
Inside.
Here's Muhammad. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. It's the linebacker, Brandon Marshall, there on the tackle.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Here's Taylor. He gets it into the hands of Larry Fitzgerald. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The quick slant, good for a first down, a gain of 12. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Rodgers throwing here. Going deep here for Parker. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. They give him a gain of 37.
Well, go ahead and throw the ball, man. You got the big lead. You got the clock on your side. Obviously, they don't care much about the feelings of the other team, do they?
Well, I was going to say, you better run to the locker room pretty quick after this one.
Well, right now, maybe. They're just looking at it from the fantasy perspective. More points for everyone if they win big.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you're
without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the 2nd one.
They come out here in the eye. Here's Rodgers. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And Denver getting set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Jones now on 1st and 10. And a sideline pass. That's caught by Thomas. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Back to throw. Jones. And he's going to go down. His time has now run out on this game. But Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them. And
as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work. That's called being in the zone. So for Green Bay, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.